What's up, guys? It's your boy Cam, and I am here with another video. I am here with NXT Inferno. This is the 5th episode of this series, the second week of Inferno that y'all are seeing. So let's get into it. And for those that are wondering, NXT Explosion is kind of like my AEW Dark, where people that are on my roster that I don't have TV time for are not in current storylines. They are here right now. They're just here on the show so they can get some momentum. I have an idea of what their ratings are and just coming up with some new ideas for them. And if anyone has any character ideas for any of the characters that I have, please set them down in the comments. Put them down below in the comments. But let's get into it. We start the show off with an amazing rating. We see a video earlier today where Captain Kelly tries to catch up with Adam Cole in the parking lot to get his thoughts on Legado del Fantasma confronting him. Adam Cole says, "When you're Adam Cole, the face of NXT, people want your spot." Santos Escobar and Legado del Fantasma jump Adam Cole, and Santos Escobar slams Cole's arm into the car door, and then Santos tells Adam, "Welcome to Inferno, baby." The show of Santos Escobar. So, Santos Escobar confronted Adam Cole last week. Adam beat Joaquin Wild, and it seems like Legado del Fantasma didn't like that, and they don't like a newcomer. And Adam Cole just coming in, claiming that he's already the face of the brand and the face of NXT. So we'll see what happens from that, but Legado del Fantasma seems to throw the first shot. Pete Dunne is backstage getting ready to make his entrance, but Malcolm Bivens stands there with Everrise in gorilla position. Malcolm Bivens wishes Pete Dunne good luck, and Pete Dunne accepts it and makes his entrance. So it looks like Everrise does end up joining Malcolm Bivens, but Malcolm Bivens isn't done yet. He wants Pete Dunne, and we'll see if he gets him. But Pete Dunne is getting ready for his match against Alexander Jessic, and it's a 68. It was pretty good. In a decent match, Pete Dunne defeated Alexander Jessic in 5:37 by submission. So, yep. Pete Dunne with a great rating of 68, and Alexander Jessic, somebody who's in developmental, a good rating of 37. Chelsea Green and the beautiful people make their way to the women's locker room. They look for lockers to put their stuff in. Tate Conti and Paris Marie find 3 open lockers. Chelsea says she already has one, and the locker she points to has Renee Michelle's name on it. Chelsea throws Renee's stuff done and rips the name tag off. So it looks like Chelsea Green is just kind of being a little bit of a bully, just throwing Renee Michelle's stuff down, and she has a match coming up next, or coming up against Rhea Ripley. So, of course, Renee, she just left her stuff in the locker because she didn't think that Chelsea was just going to go ahead and throw her stuff. But we'll see what comes of that. In the 61, pretty good match. In a decent match, Rhea Ripley defeated Renee Michelle in 14:30 by pinfall with the Soul Food. Rhea Ripley 67, Renee Michelle with a great 40. Let's see. So Rhea Ripley making an impact. She she gave Tenille Dashwood. She gave Tenille Dashwood a riptide, and she went ahead and defeated Renee Michelle. Mayu Iwatani is interviewed by Kathy Kelly and talks about Tegan Knox stepping up to her last week. Mayu says Tegan is someone she's excited to get in the ring with, but she will fall like all the others that have stepped in her way before. Jordan Grace comes into frame, and she tells Mayu that Tegan is not the only one that she should be worried about. Jordan taps the championship, which is on Mayu's shoulder. As Jordan walks away from the interview area, she runs into Tegan Knox, and both women have a brief stare down. So it looks like Tegan Knox is not the only one that wants her crack at Mayu Iwatani's NXT Women's Championship. 79, pretty good. As we come back from the commercial break, MCMG are in the ring. Alex says they've been close to the mountaintop several times in their short stint in NXT, but they failed at every single one of them. Chris says they know they're the best team in this division, not only in Inferno, but also on Thunder, but they just can't get over the hump. As Alex and Chris make an interesting promise to the fans, they said that next time they lose a shot at the NXT Tag Team Championships, they will disband as a team. James Drake and Zach Gibson come out. James says that MCMG is the problem with NXT. Zach said it's the same teams getting the same opportunities. This has all changed since they are here on Inferno. James says that MCMG are one of the best teams in the last generation, but they just don't have it anymore. Zach says this division needs some grizzled young veterans that will soon be recognized as NXT's #1 team in NXT. So a couple interesting things to take note right up there. So Motor City Machine Guns know that they failed at capturing the NXT Tag Team Championships, or they lost to MSK, and they're on the downward swing right now. And they said that if they lose their next shot, they will disband as a team. We'll see what comes of that. But grizzled young veterans telling MCMG that they don't have it anymore, and it's time for them to step aside so GYV can be the next tag team champions. In a good and a decent match, Kushida defeated Lio Rush in 15:21 by pinfall of the Midnight Express. During the match, you also had the Brian Kendrick run in and attack Lio Rush, and Tony Nese also distract Lio as well. So okay, 65 from Kushida, 52 from Lio. Brian Kendrick and Tony Nese gang up on Lio Rush. Brian hits Lio with the sliced bread, and Tony finishes him off with the 450. Brian grabs one of the announcers' headsets and says, "Fine, if we're not going to get any time, we're going to take it ourselves." So it seems like Brian Kendrick and Tony Nese, they're a tag team in my universe. Since I didn't have anything for them, they've been in team for the last couple months. I don't know if I told you that, but it seems like they're tired of not being on TV, and they said that if we're not going to give time, then we're just going to take it. And they're just taking their frustrations out on Lio Rush. Dragon Lee is talking to a camera on his phone, and he says that Ilya has been on a tear recently. We see flashes of Ilya beating on Ray Horus and Flamita, and Dragon says that's not his problem with Ilya. He says, "You see, what you did was spit in the face of Lucha Libre. You whipped Flamita like a dog after you won the match. Then you attack Ray Horus out of nowhere and try to take his mask off. Those two were my friends, and they're not here anymore thanks to you. Now I'm going to take you out for them and for the respect of Lucha Libre." So yeah, Ilya's first feud was against Flamita in a strap match, and he beat him. And after the match, he beat him like what Dragon Lee said, he beat him like a dog, because he just kept hitting him with the strap. And then Flamita's no longer in the company. And then he beat Ray Horus last weekend. Ray Horus is not in the company as well. So Dragon Lee thinks that Ilya is disrespecting Lucha Libre, and is also disrespecting his friends. So we'll see if Dragon Lee can get some revenge. In a decent match, Ace Austin and Jake Something defeated Leon Ruff and Warhorse in 13:57. When Ace Austin defeated Leon Rush with the fold, Jake Something 56, Ace Austin with a great 61. Warhorse and Leon Ruff carrying themselves as well with the 42 and 45 respectively. That's pretty good. Oh, did I? Why didn't advance the story? Okay. Ace Austin and Jake Something continue to get heat from the crowd. In front of the crowd is Mark Andrews and Flag Morgan Webster just chilling. Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster boo Ace Austin and Jake Something as they make their way up the entranceway. And Jake sees this and he sucker punches Mark Andrews, and him and Ace walk off. So Jake Something just sucker punched Mark Andrews. Apparently he didn't like being booed at by them. So Ace Austin and Jake Something being a couple of pricks like they always are. Kushida's seen leaving the arena after his match with Lio Rush when Boa comes up to him. Boa says that he looked up to Kushida and sees him as a big influence over his wrestling career. You know, Kushida is just humbled by this. As he leaves, Killian Dane attacks Boa. Apparently he's not done from last week. Dane continues the assault, but Kushida comes back and fends Dane off. Kushida checks on Boa. So yeah, it seems like Kushida's come to the defense of Boa. And Killian Dane is still on the warpath because he beat Boa last week, but he's just continuing the assault. In a decent match, the NXT North American Champion Yori Kotsmatsu defeated Arya Daivari in 13:25 by pinfall with a 5-star clutch. I still want to know what that move is. Is it the Dragon Suplex that he does? I don't know. But decent match, trying to find something for Arya Daivari, trying to give him a character change. He has a 39, which is pretty good, and Yori Kotsmatsu with a very, very respectable 65. And Yori Kotsmatsu is short and brief in his statement to Tyler Bate. He grabs the mic and he says he accepts Tyler's challenge whenever, wherever. So Yori Kotsmatsu, not hiding, not beating around the bush. He says if Tyler wants a shot at this NXT North American Championship, you can have one. So Yori Kotsmatsu being a defending champion. Next week, Kamiko Asahara will explain why she's here in NXT, and she'll explain why did she help out Io Shirai. Also, we have a big time trade to announce. Damian Priest has been traded to Thunder for Brody King. Both men will be on their respective brands soon. So Damian Priest, when I was looking at the roster after the Superstar Shakeup, I said Damian's feuded with a lot of people on the Inferno brand, and Brody King seems to be a little bit lost in the shuffle after he lost the triple threat match. So I had them switch brands, and if you're having a brand split, it makes it easier just to announce a trade than just having random people show up on Raw or SmackDown. No shots at WWE, but it takes no time to say, hey, we traded person A for person X, Y, and Z. So it just helps out. It makes the fans, it doesn't make the fans feel stupid. And it just explains everything. So Kamiko, as her, will be here to explain why she's here and why she helped out Io Shirai. And Damian Priest is going to be on Thunder. And Brody King should make his Inferno debut soon. 85, pretty good. Man, why is that other storyline then? Man, okay. Renee Michelle enters the locker room and asks who put her stuff on the floor. Chelsea says she put it there. Renee Michelle gets in the face of Chelsea. Paris and Tay try to get Chelsea away from Renee. Then Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter, who come into the locker room, try to get Renee away from Chelsea. Chelsea seems smiling like she wanted this to happen, so she already knew what she was doing when she threw Renee Michelle's stuff on the floor. We hear commotion in the back, and the camera is panning to Tenille as she's giving Rhea Ripley an earful. Tenille asks Rhea, "Who do you think you are? Do you know who you just put your hands on?" Rhea looks annoyed at this and just leaves. Tenille was actually surprised that Rhea walked away. She was hoping that she could at least get some revenge, but Rhea just walked away before Tenille could do anything. So Tenille's not happy that Rhea attacked her last week, and it looks like Chelsea might just have her first opponent on Inferno. Keith Lee is out, and it's time for the open challenge once again. He says, who's going to step up to the limitless one? We hear the sound of a hammer on the PA system. It's Alexander Hammerstone. Alexander Hammerstone debuts on NXT to answer the open challenge. Alexander looks gamed as he gets in the face of Keith Lee. So yeah, a little interesting story. When I was doing the NXT Explosion tapings, I signed Alexander Hammerstone a couple days beforehand because I knew what I was going to do, and I wanted him to debut on this show. And what happened was he was a road agent for some reason, and he was I signed him to a pay-per-appearance deal for one night, and he was the road agent for the Explosion matches, and that was a major botch on my part. But I didn't know why he was a road agent, and he had left the company. So I started a working relationship with MLW, where Alexander Hammerstone is employed. So now I have a working relationship with MLW. I'm really looking forward to building some more relationships with other companies to get some more talent, and we'll see what comes of that. I got another relationship in the works right now. Can't say who it is, but it's pretty interesting. It's going to be pretty good for both companies involved. But can Alexander Hamilton beat the Limitless one? Wow, that match sucked. I was hoping for at least a 70. No, he cannot. And about to have good heat and subpar wrestling, Keith Lee defeated Alexander Hamilton in 1540 by pinfall with the power slam. Keith Lee makes finish number 2 of the NXT Television Championship. Keith 60, Alexander 37. Man, it sucks that they don't click. I'm pretty sure if they did, at least get a 65. But we close the show with a good rating. Keith Lee and Alexander shake hands in a very competitive contest. Alexander heads to the back. He gets a knee from Dominik Dijakovic. Kim Shamrock is looking as Dominik Dijakovic is just laying in on Alexander Hammerstone. And then Keith Lee goes to the entrance ramp, and Keith is asking Dominik what has gotten into them. And Dominik tells Keith that he needs real competition and not these indie wannabes. Dominik Dijakovic and Ken Shamrock leave as NXT closes. So Dominik Dijakovic just beat on Alexander Hammerstone, and he tells Keith Lee that he should face some real competition and not quote-unquote indie wannabes. And I thought it was a good show. We advanced a few storylines, had a debut, had a little surprise in Alexander Hammerstone. Even though the match rating sucked, I'm pretty sure I'll get a good rating. And we got a 75. I was hoping for at least an 80, not gonna lie, but pretty good show. We advanced a couple storylines. We gave a good premise for MCMG. They recognized their failures. Ace Austin, Jake something, they looked to sucker punch Mark Andrews and Flag Morgan Webster. So tell me what you thought down below. Malcolm Bivens looking to get Pete Dunne into Bivens Enterprises. Yoy answers Tyler's open challenge. Keith and Dominic Dijakovic look to be on the collision course. Maybe. And we'll see what happens next week. Kamiko Asahara will be here. And Brody King should be making his debut soon. So tell me what you thought down below. And I'll see you when I see you. Peace.